All right there. Now, before the video proper starts, I want to point the symbolic worm of fate at you, Andrew O'Malley. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I'm foaming at the mouth for your birthday. Listen, man, respect to you. Have a cracking birthday. Look, you're 21 years old. I know it doesn't seem like it, but your life hasn't even begun. So the world is your clam. Stick with the red pills. Keep off of the acid most of the time. Good times for you. And focus. All right there. We're all familiar with the melting pot, the multicultural melting pot, where cultures from all around the world congregate in one tolerant, beautiful, progressive area and just amongst themselves just merge together and form a new culture that's more of the sum of its parts. Yeah, that's what happens. That's the observable reality of the tribal, territorial, purely natural reality of human groups. I mean, it just hasn't happened. London is a prime example. Oh, the melting pot of London. No. And problems on borders, small little borders that have occurred between tiny little areas. And what happens when you become the minority in that area? What happens when you become involved in those clashes? People move away. They make room for more of the dominant culture. There's no melting pot at all, and we all know it. So when I happened upon an article in Everyday Feminism, which this young Asian woman describes all the problems with multiculturalism, and then she gives some tips of how to sort it out, how to get over it, how we can eradicate thousands of years of human groups. So I haven't read the what do you call it? I haven't read her answers. I haven't read her remedy for the reality of the failed multicultural project. So let's have a look at them together. Boom. Here we go. Oh, interestingly enough, look at this. Dear beloved reader, give us some money. We're going out of business as advertising rates plummet across the media industry. CBS Evening News has gone down something like 17% in their viewers, 20% in the exceptionally important age of something like 24 to 45. Oh, if everyone gave us $12, we could. Yeah, it ain't happening. Bye. Progressive media is failing. Remember the bottom line? Yeah, you ain't achieved it. Anyway, here we go. Our Nithya's guide to eradicating human difference, eradicating group identity, and making the multicultural project a success for everyone in this brave, brave new world. 5 ways to fight oppression and create harmony between different cultures. The way to do it, the answer is actually simple. Let them live in their own cultures. That's what people want to do. Just let them do it. Stop persuading people to traipse halfway around the world so they can get a lot of free money and then end up in a living non-melting pot hell. Anyway, let's remain I get a Freudian slip. Let's remain pessimistic. Let's remain optimistic. The recent Hindu-Muslim clashes resulting in arson on the Trilokapuri area of New Delhi have once again opened up the discussion on the role of riots in Indian politics. But for me, they opened up my memory box from the time when I visited a refugee camp a few miles away from New Delhi. The camp took survivors in the anti-Muslim riots in the Muzaffarnagar district of Uttar Pradesh in northern India last August. As I walked past a helpless crowd of women and children, there's no men in here. Where are all the toxic men in these camps? When I walked past a helpless crowd of women and children on the first floor of the madrasa-turned-refugee camp, I remember observing a thin old Muslim woman. A man... Oh, there is men there. You just didn't notice them originally. A man carrying some packets of cookies entered the dimly lit room, and the old woman's eyes lit up in anticipation, then filled with tears. She didn't get the cookies. Angry, struggling and helpless over a packet of cookies. Come on. Let's try and do that seriously. Angry, struggling and helpless over a packet of cookies. This is what the anti-Muslim riots in her village had done to her. I found out that the people who burned her house and her cattle were people she already knew. They were people she saw on a daily basis, popular and family faces in her village, neighbours and even casual friends of her grandsons. So, how does acquaintanceship ending up creating such hell? Is acquaintanceship creating such hell, or is putting groups who blatantly don't get on, don't want to get on, and really significantly don't need to, because they've got everything they need in their own groups? But regardless, how does acquaintanceship end up creating such hell? Acquaintanceship, another word for multiculturalism. How do people find it in themselves to be oppressive and violent towards a group because of their religious identity? Well, it's not just that, but that's certainly an aspect. I mean, it's not as if that's gone on for millennia. I want to point out here that minority oppression isn't just about anti-minority violence. It is also about how we assert our prejudice in a way that maintains the possibility and feasibility of violence. It is about the subtle ways in which we knowingly or unknowingly manifest our prejudice. We take in prejudice slowly and silently through socialization. Nobody is born prejudiced. This is such a pathetic argument. Nobody is born prejudiced. Yeah, but no one's a baby when they're old. Do you understand that? This is ridiculous. Nobody is born prejudiced against one group. It is socialization, yeah. It is socialization, it is life, it is culture, it is the reality of difference. It is the reality of, dare I say it, diversity. Yeah, nobody is born diverse. Nobody is born in a multicultural context. Regardless, it is socialization which makes up part of the systematic oppression of certain groups of people. Certain groups. This happens to any groups when you put them together in places they don't want to be together, and when they've been lured there by promises of money, of free healthcare, of a better life. When you've bent them over a barrel, not telling them that the barrel's going to break their back. Anyway, but because we learn prejudice, we can also unlearn it. Liberating our minds is a worthwhile effort, and it is our responsibility. It's not. Why is it? There's a better answer to this that's staring you in the face. But oh no, let's just go against that. Let's go against the blatant, clearly observable, pattern-forming historic reality of the answer, and just let's progress. Let's develop society. Let's go in a way that, I don't know, clearly isn't fucking working. When we as individuals begin to fight oppression in the everyday lives of other people, that's amazing. That's amazing. Just consider the implications of that. When we as individuals begin to fight oppression in the everyday lives of other people, means exactly what it says. We add to our collective strength of dissolving the hatred that creates hells, that should be a capital H, such as the Muzaffarangar communal riots. And this is as far as I've got, by the way. So we'll get to enjoy the solutions to the global multicultural crisis together. Here are a few ways you can fight oppression and practice political consciousness. Oh, a particular type of political consciousness, I'm guessing. And communal harmony. Yeah, you know, I've got another way of practicing political consciousness and communal harmony. Yeah, it's the one that's gone on for a long time. You can see it working in many, many places. Used to be like that in many places. Anyway, communal harmony in your everyday life. The solution to the multicultural problem. How to turn How to turn territorial, tribal, deeply entrenched and powerful and strong identities into the melting pot. Who wouldn't want that? The melting pot of the future. The melting pot of human love. 1. Introduce your friends to each other. I mean, surely she means introduce friends from different groups to each other. I mean, I can introduce plenty of my white mates to each other. I do it all the time. In 11th grade, my best friend told me that in order to stay safe in online chat rooms, she avoided chatting with anybody with a Muslim-sounding name. I wonder why she did that. I wonder whether she done that the first time she went into a chat room, or whether a repeated experience, a pattern started forming where one day she went, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to stick with my own. And then it was lovely, then it was safe, then it was valuable to her. But oh no, our friend here doesn't want that. Talk to each other, will you? Just do it. I was shocked. Why? I was shocked. How could she say something so blatantly Islamophobic? Yes, she's in the wrong. This person who we can blatantly assume continually got hounded by Muslims because she had a Hindu-sounding name, because she decided to, you know what, fuck that, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to stick with my own. Because she wants to remain safe, she's Islamophobic. Amazing. Was my friend contributing to the growing Islamophobia around the world? What? How's she contributing it? Cannot compute. I would like to suggest here that the Muslims who repeatedly attacked her to the point where she decided to stay the fuck away from them might have been contributing to it. But oh no, it's never them. It's never them, it's her. It's her. She must not have known it then, but what seemed like a safety mechanism, what seemed like her looking after herself, what seemed like her protecting herself to her mind, is actually oppression. Yeah, it's oppressive to other groups to protect yourself from their endless insults and attacks. That's oppression. What you should do, you should cast yourself out there, tear your shirt off and say, just attack me. I don't want to oppress you. I mean, what gives me the right to look after myself? What gives me the right to live in safety? No, go on, attack away. I don't want to oppress you. I don't want to stop you from exerting your attacks and your violence on me. How oppressive is that? How Islamophobic is that? This is shocking stuff. It ranges from avoiding talking with Muslims to refusing renting houses to them. Oh, you've got to rent your house. If you're a landlord, if you've worked all your life and you've earned a lot of money through slaving away at your job, you've got to rent your house to anyone you want. Absolutely anyone. Why? Why have you? That's absurd. Absolutely absurd. You should be able to choose. And thankfully, you kind of are. Almost. It ranges from avoiding talking to Muslims to refusing to renting houses out to them, from calling a classmate or colleague a terrorist because of their Muslim identity, to anti-Muslim violence in areas with Muslim minorities. One hell of a leap from someone who decided to protect themselves in chat rooms to anti-Muslim violence. Wow. Like so many of us, my friend had learned from somebody that following a certain way of thinking was the best way to keep society and herself safe. Yeah, I'd like to suggest that somebody she'd learnt it from was people in chat rooms that endlessly hounded her. But you're not going to go there, are you? It must have been someone just being a bigot. We take in these messages by observing... You know what? This is amazing. In block, we take in these messages by observing and learning things about our society. Yeah, yes we do. And soon we start to replicate them. Yes we do. That's how it works. You learn through observing and from learning. And then you repeat that so that you don't get yourself in a situation where you're at risk or vulnerable or under attack. And to do that, to take in messages by observing and learning things about society and then replicating them, is not oppression. It is clever. It is sensible. But oh no, she doesn't. That is in blocks to tell you what an horrible, evil thing it is. These people. Society labels certain people as the other. No, different groups do. And there's many different groups, which means there's many different others. What is wrong with that? Because at the same time, at the exact same time as you people say that that's a bad thing, then you'll start talking about maintaining difference and diversity being a strength and different organisations and groups and colleges and God knows what need different people, different quotas. Why? What, are they different or are they the same? Because if they're the same, we don't need quotas. If they're the same, there's no such thing as diversity. You can't quite have it both ways, but yet you manage to. How ridiculously unsophisticated is progressive thought. It's an embarrassment. Society labels certain people as the other. I mean, this is fucking social sciences 101. Otherness and post-colonial studies. This is just something she read. Oh, there's others. How awful. What oppression, my dear. Society labels certain people as the other. And once this message becomes part of our belief system, we do not want to see, hear or know the other. That's a massive leap. An absolutely massive leap. Not and blatantly not true. We're all right with those things, but we also, as you previously stated, observed and learnt things and started to replicate them to protect ourselves. There you go. As in basic human psychology, snap. We connect with people by finding out if we're similar or not. Okay. And in the 11th grade, my friend didn't think she had anything in common with anybody who had a Muslim-sounding name. What rubbish. No, rubbish. She just realised that there were certain reasons which meant keeping her distance kept her safe. They were other. Oh, and because no one's other to Islam. No, everyone's welcome. Everyone's happy. It's just a lovely, welcoming religion of peace. I mean, of course it is. I mean, there's no others in Islam's, you dirty kafir infidel. A few years later, I introduced her to a very good friend of mine who is Muslim. What is this? Oh, some of my best friends are Muslim. What's this? What is this? I feared she would come with a whole lot of presumptions, but after sharing a nice halal lunch and laughing over some jokes, she told me, he is so interesting and funny. And there you go, that's it. Problem sorted. This was a big shift in her attitude. Oh, you saint, you ally, you warrior, you social justice warrior, literally. Oh, I wave my virtue flag so high, I hope the others see it. Sure, that afternoon may not have undone all... Stupid. Sure. That afternoon may not have undone all forms of oppression. You think so? Yeah. But humanising the people from other communities goes a long way in eradicating the idea that they are inherently different and therefore threatening. Are they the same? Is everyone the same? Oh, we can lay off diversity then. We don't need all that stuff. This is absurd. So, and here's your solution to the multicultural problem and creating the melting pot. So, throw a lunch or dinner party and I'd invite your friends from all religions and cultural backgrounds. Go on, do it. I dare you. Share the story of how you met them. Can you imagine? You don't necessarily need to have to make their religion part of your dining table conversations. All right. So let's have a look. We've got this dining table. We've got Jews. We've got Muslims. We've got Catholics. We've got Buddhists. And it's a Friday. What are you going to feed them? How are you going to slaughter that meat? Is it fish? Steady. Is it kosher or is it halal? Oh, this is starting to prove a little bit tricky. I'd love to hear about a multicultural dinner party. Welcome everyone to my water lunch. No alcohol, just water. Oh, sorry, what? Oh, no, sorry, it's not the right water. This is awesome. These days, it is not uncommon in India to hear upper class Hindus complain about Muslim appeasement and how they are treated as second-class citizens. Now that people from the marginalised classes get reservations in government educational institutes as part of affirmative action. Yeah, what a surprise. There is blatant appeasement with... affirmative action is blatant appeasement, of course it is. These complaints are not only factually inaccurate, but they are. They must be, by definition of what they are. These complaints are not only factually inaccurate, but they are also extremely insensitive towards those who are actually discriminated against. Yeah, the people making the accusations. In India, religious minorities and especially Muslims have severe security issues. The domination of Hindutva in public discourses in India has subtle anti-minority, especially anti-Muslim undertones to it. The attempt at saffronization of Indian society, simply put, is an attempt to define India as a Hindu nation, thus blatantly omitting the diverse cultures and communities. What, India? Hindu? Surely it's Islamic. Surely it's a diverse community. You can't be Hindu. India, majority Hindu. You're not allowed to do that. How dare you try and maintain your identity of your nation? No, it's not allowed because others and a dinner party where we all drink water and hide the knives. That's just shocking. India, how dare you try and stay Hindu? To understand oppression in other people's lives, it's important to recognise the ways in which we aren't oppressed. Sure. Something the upper class Hindus have failed to do. Something that the hard-working, successful Hindus who want to protect their identity. No, you're not allowed because there's a minority over there and they should have the dominant position. It's not about you. By definition of you being the dominant position, that makes you wrong. And they should have it. And then when they get it, then we'll start listening to you and we can just seesaw for eternity. And hopefully avoid some wars and murder in between. Even as a non-religious person, I know that I am privileged because others see me as part of the Hindu majority in the country where I live. And there you have it. She's a self-hating Hindu. Being seen by others as part of certain groups protects us in ways that we often fail to recognise. Oh, I mean, awful. Who'd want to be protected by the group they're part of? That shouldn't be something that we get out of society. That shouldn't be something that we get out of homogenous cultures that we've been developing and maintaining and promoting through culture, through values, through religion for centuries. Oh no, you're not allowed to be protected. You're not allowed to be looked after. You should be fucking vulnerable. You should be as vulnerable as the minorities. Because inclusion, everyone should be as vulnerable as each other. That's the strength of diversity. Our religious identities play a terribly crucial role in whether or not we will be held under suspicion in the case of a terrorist attack, for example. Yeah, I can't imagine why that would be the case. Why would one religion be held more suspicious after a terrorist attack on a particular target? I mean, that's not right, is it? That can't be right. You're not allowed to you're not allowed to observe and learn from society. That's not good. This is a brave new progressive world, and anything you've observed or learned goes out the window. They literally want you to remain that baby. They want you to be that unlearned, unobserved, no knowledge, no growth, no sophisticated thought, no mature thought. Just stupid. Stay stupid. It's better for progressive orthodoxy. Whether you're a practicing or non-practicing Hindu, Muslim, Christian, as long as you are viewed as part of the majority in your country, you can benefit from that position. And what? And that's a bad thing. This is the absolute fucking state of progressive ideas. As long as you are viewed as part of the majority in your country, you can benefit from that position. How is that a bad thing? That's what this is about. This is why we should stop this fucking multicultural nonsense. And guess what? Everyone can be part of the majority in their own country. You don't have to feel bad about it. What? Don't. I feel bad about its hideous removal by the likes of you. You don't have to feel bad about it. In fact, privilege guilt is extremely counterproductive. Oh yeah, you think? But you have to recognise that political, social and economic structures are biased towards you. Yeah, you have to realise that the political, social and economic structures that your people, the dominant people in your nation, have spent centuries working on, assist you. They work in your favour. Yeah? Do you realise that? Of course everyone does. That's why they do it. Oh, hello, dummy. People often wonder if they're obliged to use their position to talk about the things that others who aren't privileged can't talk about. I don't think it's an obligation, but I do think it's an opportunity that's too important to miss. So acknowledge and accept that you are privileged. Yeah, of course. As it should be. Yeah, it's their country. They're allowed to. What is wrong with that? Be open to surprises. It's just awesome. Just amazing. There's so many problems with diversity and multiculturalism and religion and economics and politics in the world. How can we change it? Dinner party? A water-based dinner party? Be open to surprises. God, man, look, there's loads of this. Don't judge others by their clothing. Okay? Are we getting there? What else we got? I'll leave a link to this in the description so you can go for this, but this is going to go on for hours otherwise. Talk about religious discrimination and minority oppression. Yeah, sure. I think that's it. Look, I'll leave a description. Just absurd. I think I've shown you enough to show you why these ideas are not only exceptionally stupid and exceptionally immature, but also really, really dangerous to the stability of nations and the international community. Terrifying stuff. Just put it out there. So anyway, enjoy your dinner party. And get used to surprises. They're coming. Boom!